Welcome to the Mystic Lore. The Mystic Lore is Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhism is the one that we're going to be speaking about. There are many, many thousands of sects of Buddhism. Yes, there are many sects of Buddhism, but we are going to study and discuss Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhism. So, sit down and relax and enjoy a half hour full of fun.
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. 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 Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Ho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho 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 Renge Kyo. Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam 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 Myoho Renge Kyo. Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam 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 Myoho Renge Kyo. Myoho Renge Kyo. Ben Bonani. Niji Sesam Josam Maya Jone Kigo Shavi Up Shobaji Jinjin Mario Gaji Emananga Nanyu Isa Shoma Nagaji Bajidava Naji Jawi Jaga Bajino Jinga Nagasama Nagamushu Shabizinga Shabizamario Doho Yam Yosho Jim Yosho Fuman Jojo Jinjin Miso Uho Sugi Sozawi Shunanga Sharias Goju Jobazi Raishu Juin and Juju Ioka Wangam Yamushu Homen Indo Shujo Rori Shodagashowi Shaga I ho ben chicken or Mitsugai Go Sakasharias and Orai Chicken Go Daiji Non Mario Muge Mushawi Senjo Geda Samai Junior Musai Joju Isai Miso Uho Shavis Norai no Shuju from Masio Se Shoho Ganji Nunaneka Shushin Shariat Shuyo Ganji Mario Muhen Miso Uho Bushu Joju Shi Shariat Bushu Bushu Showi Shaga Busho Joju Dai Chikeyo Nenge Shiho Yui Basio Busanai no Gujin Joho Jiso Showi Shoho No Say So No Say Sho No Say Tai No Say Riki No Say Sa No Say Yen No Say Yen No Say Kan No Say Ho No Say Homa Kukyo Do Showi Shoho No Say So No Say Sho No Say Tai No Say Riki No Say Sa No Say Yen No Say Yen No Say Kan No Say Ho Say Homa Kukyo Do Showi Shoho No Say So No Say Sho No Say Tai No Say Riki No Say Sa No Say Yen No Say Yen No Say Kan No Say Ho No Say Homa Kukyo To Myoho Renge Kyo Nora Jurio Handa Jurika
Jiga Takabura Shoko Shoko Shomaria Yakasama Nakasaya Sogi Joseph Okoke Mushu Akushu Joran no Hobisato Murio Koi Doshu Joko Ho Bengen Ne Hani Jizabu Matado Joju Shi Seppo Gajo Ju Oshi Shojin Ju Rikiro Tendo Shujo Suigani Fuken Shukenga Masado Kokurio Shari Kenkai Rainbow Nisho Katsuko Shin Shujo Kishin Bakashika Inu Nani Shin Yoken Matsufuji Shakashim Yoji Gago Shuso Kushu the Roju Senga Jigo Shujo Juzai Shifu Matsui Ho Benriko Genu Matsafu Matsuyo Kuku Shujoku Gyo Shinyo Shakabu Owi Chui Suzumu Joho Nyoto Fumanji Dani Ga Matsuru Gaken Shoshujo Matsusayo Kukai Kofu Igen Shinro Gosho Katako Ingo Shin Renpo Nai Shitui Sapo Jinju Rikino Seyo Wasogi Ko Josai Roju Senyo Yosho Shoshu Joken Go Jindai Ka Shosho Jika Shido Wano Tenin Joju Manon Ren Shodo Kukushuju Ho Shokan Ho Jutake Ka Shudo Shoyu Rokusho Denga Kadengo Josai Shugi Kakoku Mandara Ke Sambasuga Shuga Jodo Fuki Nisho Ken Shojin Ofu Shoku No Seishu Juman Seisho Saishu Jo Iakugo In Enga Sogi Go Fuman Sambam Yosho Ushuku Dokanuwa Chikitiki Saso Kai Genga Shin Saishi Nisepo Wakaji Ishi Shu Sasabata Jomurio Tunai Kembusha Isasabata Nanji Gachi Rikino Seyeko Shomurio Jamyo Musho Goku Shugo Shodakanyoto Uchi Shamoto Shisho Gito Dan Royo Jinbutsugo Jibugo Nyoi Senho Beni Jio Shinko Jizaini Ganshi Muno Seko Moka Yakui Seibuku Shoku Genchai Bambu Tendo Jizaini Gametsui Joken Gako Ni Shokyo Shishin Ho Ichijakago Yakada O Akado Shugajo Jishu Jogyo Fugyo Zuyo Shokado Ise Shujo Homai Jesus Eneni Garo Shujo Takano Mujado Sakajo Jubushin Nam Myoho Renge Kyo 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 Myoho Renge Kyo Nam 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 Myoho Renge Kyo
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
You know, we could talk about the benefits of what we've received as people that chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, people that do this morning and evening throughout their lives. You know, what is the benefit of Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhism? You know, what is the benefit?
Well, I'd like to think of it as like, you know, it's not like, you know, you hope for something, wish for something, or you're, like, it's not like you're asking somebody for anything. It's more like you're finding a way to get it yourself, you know. So this Buddhism, it gives you the strength and ability to see a situation in a different light. So in that idea, like, I like the metaphor of, you know, it's as if you've been in a dark room your entire life and all you've had is a lighter to light your way. Well, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is the ability to turn that lighter into a flashlight, and then from a flashlight to fluorescent bulbs, so then you see more of the room. You see more opportunity, and you're kind of being put in the right place at the right time for the right things. So it's not really, they say, earthly desires lead to enlightenment. That's true because you're going to be chanting really hard for your earthly desires. What you don't realize is you're going to get what you need, not necessarily what you want. You know, you might want something specific, but it'll be what you need, and you'll actually appreciate it then. That's how I look at it.
And do you think that, as far as you're concerned, as far as chanting, I mean, how does everybody feel? Because people that are watching this are sort of thinking, well, it just must be like any other thing that we do. People
Well,
do. Why is it so what is so different about Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhism?
Well, the law of cause and effect.
Well, I think we need to kind of explain what the basics of the practice are.
Well, then,
Yeah. Can I do that?
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
There are 3 parts to this practice. First part is faith, practice, and study. So when I first began chanting, of course, I had no idea about anything. People just, you know, told me to chant for things and chant for what you want and chant for what you need in your life. And when I first went to the meeting here in Santa Barbara, everyone looked so happy. I thought, well, why not? You know, I'll just give it a try. And I just had an expectation that something good would happen in my life. And I think that in this Buddhism, maybe that could be one definition of faith, that something will change in your life.
Yeah,
So
no
it's,
matter.
yeah. So maybe in the beginning, faith could be defined as like an expectation that something good will happen in your life, or something, you know, will change. And then as you begin to practice more and more, and things do happen and your life improves, then your faith naturally deepens. And the practice itself consists of what we just did, the reciting Gongyo, which means in Japanese, assiduous practice. The Gongyo consists of reciting the 2 highest chapters of the Lotus Sutra, which is the highest teaching in Buddhism. The 2nd and the 16th chapter was the Hoben chapter and the Judyo chapter, which is supposed to contain the essence of the Lotus Sutra. So we recite that every morning and every evening. And then we also chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, which is called Daimoku. That's a primary part of the practice. So, and you don't have to, what we're chanted to is a scroll called the Gohonzon, which means object of worship or mandala. You don't have to chant to the Gohonzon because, I mean, if you don't have a Gohonzon, you can, for people who are out there, you don't have to have a Gohonzon right away, but you can just chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo to access your Buddha nature, which is actually the same as the Gohonzon. The Gohonzon is a mirror of your dormant Buddha nature. That's the practice. Practice for yourself and practice for others. Practice for others is telling people, which is really great. Me too. Shakabuku.
Sharing it.
Sharing with other people. Shakabuku is a Japanese word. It means to share with other people and propagate it. And so we practice for ourselves and we tell other people about it as well, because naturally as you overcome your sufferings, you want to naturally tell other people about it.
Right.
And in doing so, you can also change your own karma. Because by chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo and practicing this Buddhism, you can actually eradicate your karma from before. And then study is
Studying Nichiren's.
studying the teachings of Nichiren Daishonin. There are newspapers and magazines that you can subscribe to if you want.
There's plenty of books.
So there's
Lots
plenty
of
of books
books.
out there. The one thing I think everybody needs to understand out there, because you're saying Japanese and it's very difficult for people, Shakyamuni Buddha was the very first Buddha.
That was in India.
And that started in India. And he sat under the Bodhi tree, and he was a prince, and he had everything given to him by his father, who didn't want him to see anything that was death or sickness or anything bad about his life. And so it goes right from there until he was 18 years of age. He thought everything was wonderful. And then he went out. His father tried to orchestrate a very nice parade for him so he wouldn't see death and sickness and old age. And of course, he did see a leper, and he did see sickness, and he did see death. And he came back and he said to his father, I cannot live this way in this palace where I have everything given to me. I have to leave. So he left everything that was there and wonderful, and he went basically, in Australia they say on walkabout, because the Aborigines go on walkabouts. But he actually went around India, he went all over the place, trying to figure out the four sufferings: birth, old age, sickness, and death. He wanted to know why that happened. So from Shakyamuni Buddha,
Well, he wanted
and
to
all
eradicate them.
he wanted to
figure out a way.
he wanted to know why, number one, and then a way to eradicate that.
That was the main thing.
Right.
How
And then
to make people
right.
not have to go through that.
Right. And then basically he practiced for 50 years, and he did every kind of what I call it,
Austerities.
austerities, where he was doing all the kinds of things. He was cutting himself, he was bleeding, he was going hungry, he was doing all the things that you can read all about what they did years ago to try and find enlightenment. And in the end, he did find enlightenment through himself by sitting under the Bodhi tree. But he also was the one that knew about Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, but he said it was too soon to teach the people. And so meanwhile, people kept listening to him sitting under the Bodhi tree, talking about common sense things like cleaning your hands before you eat so you don't get sick. And they would just branch off and thought they got it. So now we have 3,000 sects of different Buddhisms because people listened to what he said, and as the years went on, they just kept making different branches. Eventually, his teachings went to Tibet, and then Tiantai, another priest, read all his stuff, put it into chronological order. Then it all went to Japan, and eventually Nichiren Daishonin was born to read everything and realized, as far as he was concerned, that Nam Myoho Renge Kyo was the essence of all the teachings. And if ordinary people like you and me chanted Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, we could get the benefits of being a priest and reading all of them.
Which is the title of the Lotus Sutra, which is the highest teaching of Shakyamuni.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's why we chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. And actually, it's like Debbie said, it's the doer. All you have to actually do is chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and you yourself will get the actual proof. And that's what's so great about this Buddhism as far as I'm concerned, because ever since I've chanted, I've always got actual proof.
Yeah, and the actual proof comes in like two ways, right?
Conspicuous and inconspicuous.
Yeah, conspicuous benefits and inconspicuous benefits. And I find the inconspicuous benefits more beneficial, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess it teaches you who you really are, and you know, you can actually figure yourself out, as well as figure out how you're kind of dealing with other people around you and how you affect people around you. And that is the true essence of a Buddha. I feel like Buddha, all that means is an enlightened being, you know, an enlightened one. And it's basically, it's like the same, in a way it's like the same term as Illuminati. They just get thrown around and people think it means something else, like Buddha means a god or something. It's not, it's just somebody, a human being who is enlightened to certain facts of the universe, not just the world, but the universe. And
Awakened one.
Awakened,
So the
yeah.
law of love.
Awakened.
You're open, your eyes are open to these realities. And that, I feel like, is the best benefit you can possibly get, is actually being aware of cause and effect. And because a lot of people aren't, and they don't realize that every cause, every thought, every word has an effect in your life, and it will continue to affect your life no matter what you do about it. So,
No matter what you feel about it.
yeah, like there was a cool statement that said, I am, and whatever you put after that, that's what your reality will be. You know, I am happy, you are going to be happy. You know, so it's like those kind of things are good to remember, and it's just, I don't know, that's kind of what I get from the Buddhism.
For the inconspicuous and conspicuous benefits.
Yeah, and the conspicuous ones are cool too, like, you know, when you're like really hoping you get somewhere on time, or you know, you need
Parking
some,
spot.
you know, you need a good parking spot, or you need money for something, and it just happens to come from somewhere, and that's a great thing too, you know. But that's where the earthly desires lead to enlightenment, you know, because you're chanting so hard to get these earthly desires that no matter what, you're gonna be enlightened. That's the effect of your cause. So
The reason I like to chant is because I don't like the way I feel if I don't. You know, so I feel a lot better when I chant, and there's a lot of things. It takes hard work. I mean, life takes hard work, and you chant to do the right things, and it doesn't matter that you're doing that, except for the fact that you're actually trying to go in the right direction that you feel is the right direction. So then you know, you come up with all these obstacles because you haven't been doing that. You know, so then you know, you come up with all these obstacles because you haven't been doing that. You know, so then you got to battle that. And then you gotta, well, am I gonna give into that? Am I gonna give into this pain? Am I gonna give into this friction? And you know, you just keep going, and pretty soon, you know, sooner than later, bingo, you're where you wanted to be.
That's what ends up happening.
Yeah, you're battling yourself, your own
negativity.
negativity, your own darkness,
yeah,
to become equal with it.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Or
you get
To understand
Even-
it,
yeah,
and accept
just to
it, and be with it.
open to it.
Yeah, open to it.
You know,
to be with it. Yeah.
you know that you can be the evilest of evil
Sure,
and the best of
the
the
best,
best.
the best. And so you just
But
the middle
you're
road.
finding the middle way, and
Yeah.
that's the action I feel like that people need to take, and we try to take every day, is to try to find the middle way and try to stay at the middle way.
Yeah.
But
If
you know,
more and
it's
more
easy to
people
get
to do
swayed.
that,
It's
it
easy to get
changes the world.
yeah, yeah,
You know?
it's true. It's true.
If more and more people decide to enlighten themselves, it changes the world.